Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Carrying on with Kitab al-Tahara, Bab al-Hayd. Inshallah, today we'll take a few more masail, and tomorrow we'll move on to Ahkamun Nifas. Yesterday, we spoke about a woman who is mubtada'a, starting off, and we said either she'll start off with a normal period, and she'll, for example, 5 days, and then she'll remain on that 5 days. Or she'll start off more than 10 days. Here we'll say the 10 days are hayd, and the other days are istihada, because in the Hanafi madhab, a woman can't bleed more than 10 days. And we said there's a woman called mu'tada. Mu'tada is someone who's got an established period, okay? So for example, it's known to her that she only bleeds 6 days every month, okay? As long as she carries on like that, it's considered hayd. However, if there comes a time where her period changes, okay? If her period changes, it's one of two things. It's either going to be less than 10 days, so still in the time frame of hayd. So let's say from 6 it goes to 7. Here we'll tell her you've got a new aada, which is 7 days. And then the same woman, if she had a normal period, 6 days, and then all of a sudden her days increase and it becomes more than 10 days, okay? Here we'll tell her, go back to your original aada. So here her original aada was 6 days. And the rest of those days are istihada. Why? Because she had an aada of 6 days and she's gone over the stipulated time of hayd. So here, more likely, it will be istihada, hence they'll consider it to be istihada. So if it changes 10 days and less, we'll say that's a new period, meaning a new aada. More than 10 days, we'll say go back to your old period. Thereafter, there's women who may not have any blood. So for example, in the Hanafi madhab, pregnant woman, they say it doesn't have hayd. Anything that comes out, we'll tell her, treat it like a nosebleed and you must still read salah and fast. Same as a girl who's very, very small. Say that's not a hayd. And they say ayisa. Ayisa is a person who's reached an old age where they've become, let's say, menopause, and they no longer bleed. So in case a woman at the age of 70 had to see blood, we'll say that's also considered istihada, and you can carry on reading your salah and fasting. Thereafter, they move on to ahkamul ma'dhurin. Ma'dhur is somebody who's excused. So after we learned that a woman on istihada, that's not period blood, hence it's minor impurity, not major. However, at times she may be constantly bleeding. Okay? What does she do here? We told her she must read salah and fast. Let's say she's constantly bleeding for 2 days. How does she do it? And similar to her, sometimes is a person who they say has salasul bawl, okay, where the urine doesn't stop, it constantly carries on. And similar to a person who has a constant nosebleed, ru'af. And similar to a person who has a wound that doesn't heal, meaning this wound carries on bleeding. And similar to a person who constantly has gas. Okay? All these people, let's say the time of salah enters. What do? either this bleeding or this urine or this gas doesn't take up the whole time. So for example, let's say the time of dhuhr is 3 hours. Okay. And this person had istihada or salasul bowl, etc., for only 2 hours. Here we'll say wait for those 2 hours and read your salah after 2 hours while you're still reading in time. Okay? Similar to a nosebleed, similar to them. However, at times, it may be constant. The time of salah will be coming out, especially when it comes to istihada, etc. So here we'll tell them that you make wudu for every salah as long as this is your condition. So regardless of whether you are bleeding or whether urine is coming out or whether gas is coming out, as long as it's constant. And sometimes people are sick. They have that type of sickness where they can't hold their wudu. We'll say here, your job is when the time of salah enters, you make wudu. And even if blood comes out in the form of istihada or salasul bowl, or your nosebleed carries on, or that wound carries on bleeding, or you've got gases, etc. You make wudu, even if it comes out, we'll consider you to have wudu when you read salah. So let's say, for example, the time of dhuhr enters, they made wudu, they can read dhuhr, fard, and nafil. And then as soon as the time of asr comes, we'll say now your wudu is broken and make another wudu for asr. And then when the time of maghrib comes, we'll say your wudu is broken, make wudu for maghrib. And now in the time, regardless of why, because they considered people who are excused, people who are unable to hold their wudu. And this is the ruling that they take. So every time a new time of salah enters, their wudu will be considered void and they make wudu again. Did you understand?
Yes, Sheikh.
Any question? It's quite simple. Okay, since you understood, moving on. We spoke about in Nahu, we speak about marfu' apparently. They said, how is a word shown to be marfu'? Firstly, marfu' will be shown with a dhamma. That's in 4 places. اسم مفرد جمع تكسير جمع مؤنث سالم فعل مضارع الذي لم يتصل بآخر شيء. There's no extra at the end. Number 2 is at times there'll be a wow to show this marfu'. As in جمع مذكر سالم أسماء الخمسة. 3 we said at times maybe marfu' with an alif, and this is only when the noun is dual. The noun is dual. So for example, muslimani. Muslimani is marfu'. وعلامة رفعه الألف. Why? Because it's تثنية. And today we take the last one sign when it comes to marfu', and that is a noon. And this noon is in فعل مضارع. فعل مضارع إذا اتصل به means if it's connected to ضمير تثنية أو
What
ضمير.
does that mean, Sheikh?
Hold on.
Sorry.
أو ضمير جمع أو ضمير المؤنثة المخاطبة. Right. So if you remember, when we took Dhamma, we said here, فعل مضارع الذي لم يتصل بآخر شيء. There's nothing extra connected to it. And when we took our sarf, so let's go back to it, we say يضرب تضرب and you got يضربون. I didn't give you the jewel when it comes to verbs, but today you take them. And you got here تضرب تضربين تضربون أضرب نضرب. The bare bones is here, يضرب. How many words? 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything else joined to it? No. So here this is مرفوع with ضمة. Okay. This one is مرفوع with ضمة. Okay. Done. تضرب مرفوع with ضمة. أضرب مرفوع with ضمة. نضرب مرفوع with ضمة. And if you notice, all these words are singular, meaning he, one person hit, she, one person hit, you, one person hit, I hit, we hit. Okay. Now, they're saying those we already took them. مرفوع with ضمة. Those which will be مرفوع with noon are فعل مضارع which have connected to them something extra. So what has something extra? Here يضربون is plural. Got an extra waw and a noon. So here we'll say this is مرفوع, and the sign to show us is مرفوع is the fact that it has a noon. يضربون. Here تضربين, what shows us مرفوع? The fact that it has a noon. This is ضمير مؤنثة المخاطبة, a woman who is singular and you are addressing. Then you've got تضربون. If you look at it, what's extra here is the noon. This is مرفوع. What shows us مرفوع? The fact that it has a noon. And then we didn't take jewel, but to make something jewel, here you add alif and noon. So يضرب يضرباني. Okay. يضرباني is a verb. It's مرفوع with what? مرفوع with noon. تضرباني to مرفوع with noon. So anytime you see فعل مضارع with a noon, it's مرفوع with noon. And anytime you see that it doesn't have any extra, then it's مرفوع with ضمة. Did you understand? Did you understand?
No. Sheikh, this يضرباني is also dual, but the dual which we have learned is يضربون, تضربون.
No. We didn't take jewel at all.
يضربون is they, غائب, and
hold on. When I taught you, I said that to make it easy for you, we'll say he hit and they hit. Now, if you go into more detail, it's he hit one person, they hit only 2 people, and then they hit more than 2 people. So 3 different words. So we never take that middle word. Also, if you notice, here we're speaking about fi'l. So even though it looks similar that you're adding an alif and noon, however, this is marfu' with noon. And yesterday we took ism muslimani, same thing. So it's muslimun and you added alif and noon. But there the noun is marfu' with alif.
Okay.
Understood? And you'll understand a lot more when you take mansub and majroor and majzoom.
So, Sheikh, when we are talking about jewel, we're talking about an action, a verb that is done towards two people.
Jewel
Is that
can be
correct?
used. Jewel can be used for a noun, so two people only, or it can be used for a verb, two people only. Muslimani,
Okay,
two
understood.
Muslims. Yadribani, they both hit.
It's a bit different than from the English language. This
Yeah,
have
it's
to get used to these new things that we learn.
Similar to French in terms of masculine, feminine, etc.
Yes.
So, for example, let me give you an example. Allah says in the Quran, قال رجلان من الذين. قال قال also another ayah وقال رجل مؤمن. Okay. قال here is the fi'l. Okay. رجل is fa'il, and we said fa'il is always marfu. Here, because who spoke? A man spoke. So here we say فاعل مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الضمة. Why? Because it's اسم مفرد. And here قال is فعل and رجلان is فاعل, and we know فاعل is always مرفوع. Okay. What shows us it's مرفوع? It's not كسرة. We say the alif shows us it's مرفوع because it's a noun that's jewel. قال رجلان. And then I give an example. يضربون is a فعل which is مرفوع. What shows us is مرفوع? The fact that it has a noon. So both اسم and فعل can be مرفوع. Understood?
Yes, yeah.
Sheikh?
Yes.
I don't. I've heard the fi'l thing a lot, but can't grasp it that good. So it's like a scale, but how would the scale apply in these?
Hold on. There's something called nahu and there's something called sarf. Sarf is how you build a word, and that's a science on its own. That's where all the scales are. S for scale. That's where we took, how do you get from daraba, how do you make it into yadribu and tadribu, all that. Nahu, you're only worried about the ending part of the word. Does it have fatha, dhamma, kasra, or does it have something that comes in place of those fatha, dhamma, kasras in terms of a waw, or a noon, or an alif, etc. That's all. So don't confuse this with this. This is only to say, do you say the meaning of rajulani and the meaning of rajulani and rajulaini is the same, two men. However, when do you say rajulani, when do you say rajulaini? So that's what we're learning here in Nahu. And this, the way you're taking it now, is one way of looking at it. In the next chapter, they'll give you another way of looking at it. And inshallah, that will make it a lot easier. And then after that, they'll start going into detail in all these things. So they'll start telling you about file. What's file? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? And they'll give you all that in detail, inshallah. Any more questions?
So the word when we were taking zakat for sheep, so it's shatan and shia.
Shatani is two, yes.
So
Shatani, pardon?
So it would be on marfu'.
Yes, with alif. Correct.
تثنية
Shatani.
الأسماء الخاصة.
Yes. Stathniya is jewel. It's an ism. It's a noun. Khasa means only. Shatun shatani. 100%. It's marfu'. What's marfu' with? Alif.
Then when does the word sha for sheep become marfu' with noon.
No, it can't. Because noon is only for a verb. Sha is an ism. It's a noun. It doesn't enter. Is it the word sheep? Is the word sheep a verb or a noun?
It's a noun.
It's a noun. Here we're talking about, we said noon is only for verbs. So look here again. Dhamma, 3 of them are nouns and 1 is a verb. Waw is only nouns. Alif, only nouns. Noon, only verbs.
The alif is not pronounced, right? It's pronounced as a dhamma.
How can you pronounce as a dhamma?
I know what I mean, like marfu. Sorry, it's all marfu.
Yes, it's marfu with alif.
With alif,
Shatani.
yeah. Oh, like that, yeah.
There's no dhamma there. It can't come. It's like if you're the captain of a football team and then you injured, who do you put on the field? You put a replacement on the field. You are not there. Your replacement is there. So you're unable to be there. Similarly, with this, Dhamma is unable to be there. So it sends an alif.
Understood.
Sheikh, the last one, أو ضمير المؤنثة المخاطبة is
Dhamir, speaking about pronoun that's mu'annath,
feminine
female,
pronoun.
and mukhataba, a woman who you addressing. So that's only, for example, تضربين, تذهبين, you went.
Past participle.
And all that, if you want an easy way to remember it for now, just to remember what will it be? Is it marfu or not? Just remember, when you've got a fi'l, it's either it got extras at the end or it doesn't have extra at the end. It doesn't have extra at the end, a dhamma. If it has extras at the end, we say that's marfu with noon. So it could be waw and a noon, alif and a noon, ya and a noon, whatever. As long as you see noon in a verb, it's marfu.
Yeah, Sheikh.
Good.